All right. I think I am live. I am super, super excited to be here. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me. One of my favorite things to do when I go live like this is to actually see where everyone is joining me from. So maybe in the chat box, I'd like to see where you are currently, where you currently are. As travelers, I think it's a really fun way to connect. So let me know where you're joining me from. That would be really fun. I see hello from Miami. Hi. Who else is here joining me? Hi from Greece. Hi, Vanessa. Fantastic. Very cool. I was actually just writing a blog post about Greece, so that's awesome. Portland, Oregon. Fantastic. I used to live in Bend. I am actually currently in Steamboat Springs, Colorado right now, but I am headed off to Mexico in another week for a blogging retreat that I'm hosting. So, anyways, I just want to thank everyone again for joining me. I am thrilled to be here. I also want to thank Travelpayouts for having me. Any way that I'm able to help others grow their blogs through SEO, affiliate marketing, and email marketing, I am all for it. So I definitely jumped on this opportunity. So again, thank you, Travelpayouts, for having me. So, today, I'm going to teach you how to get more traffic from old blog posts. They can kind of be that thorn in your side, right? Now, this training is specifically for travel bloggers, but you can actually utilize these tricks for any website niche. So don't feel like just because I'm using the words travel that you have to be very specific about these strategies. They are applicable to any niche. Okay, so before we dive into anything, I'm going to briefly go over some of the things that we'll be talking about today. If you're anything like me, you like to have a schedule. What are we going to be talking about? So, first, I'm going to introduce myself. I'll let you know a bit about my background and why you should implement the same strategies that I use for my blog. Then we're going to dive into step number one, which is how to determine which blog posts need updating. From there, I'll guide you through the things that you can do to either update your old blog posts, recycle them, or just to delete them. And then next, I'll give you tips on how to update your blog posts using SEO. Before we wrap it up, I will tell you about working with me, how you can work with me to grow your travel blog a heck of a lot faster. I will also have a few really awesome freebies for you at the end. So again, you'll want to stay till the end so you can get your hands on those freebies. And then finally, we'll jump into a Q&A. So let's go ahead and start by the very first thing that I think you should do is register for one of the top affiliate networks, which is Travelpayouts. They are hosting this webinar. They are phenomenal, and they're actually giving away $50 to anyone who has their first payout with them. If you use the QR code on the screen, I'm also going to be giving you the link at the end of this training just in case you don't have your phone handy. So stick around with me until the end to get that and your free 50 bucks. Pretty awesome deal. Okay, so let's start with an introduction. I want to make sure everyone knows who I am and why you should trust me. So my name is Laura, and I'm the author of Mike and Laura Travel, which is our travel blog that I started way back in 2014. I was living in Thailand and I wanted to travel more and get paid to do it. Unfortunately, I struggled for 5 very long years with my blog until I finally decided to master SEO. Now, we were able to grow our blog from $0 per month and nearly no traffic to consistent $12,000 months within a 16-month time frame. And that happened in 2019 to 2020. And this was a huge light bulb moment for me. And I knew that others were struggling with the same things that I struggled with for years. So I decided to teach other people how to do this too. And when I say that a lot can change in 2 years, I mean a lot can change, not just for me, but for you too. For me in particular, I still run our travel blog, but now I'm also the CEO of Scale Your Travel Blog, which is today's top travel blogging program with over 450 students. And I'm also the creator of Travel Blogging Summits, which are live events that we host all over the world. Our most recent event was in Denver, where we had more than 180 travel bloggers involved. And this year, our event will exceed 450 attendees, and it will take place in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so now you know why you can trust my SEO expertise. So let's just dive right into the good stuff, shall we? I must say that if you are joining me right now, I would recommend pulling out a notebook for note taking or opening a new tab on your computer for note taking specifically, as we're going to cram in as much as we possibly can into this training. And I don't want you to miss a thing. So, again, it's best if you can take some notes, but I will also be giving you guides and freebies at the end to help. But it's always a good idea. So let's figure out a plan for updating old content so that you can see massive traffic gains with the least amount of work. Now, the very first thing we need to do is determine which blog posts need updating in the first place. Okay, so this is step number one. So let's start by using the process of elimination. Let's talk about the blog posts that do not need updating. That will leave us with the blog posts that do need updating. Pretty easy, right? So the blog posts you do not need to update are, number one, any blog posts that are currently ranking in the top 3 of Google search results for your target keyword. Okay, so every blog post you target, you should be targeting a keyword. Now, with our posts that are in the top 3 of search results for our keyword, we only want to optimize these for affiliates. If they are bringing us traffic, we've already done half the work, right? We already have an audience. Now we just need to give them a few things that could make their journey easier. That's where you can utilize your Travelpayouts affiliate links and really leverage your traffic that you're already getting to earn more. But again, they do not need updating for SEO. They just need updating for affiliate marketing. Okay. We also don't want to update any blog posts that are bringing in a lot of traffic. I know somebody had mentioned earlier, well, what about any blog posts that are doing really well for me? Do not touch them. Even if you're not getting or you're not ranking for your specific keyword, but you're still getting a lot of traffic elsewhere from other keywords, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, it's really important that you just let Google do its thing. And if they're showing you that they already like this post, you only want to update it for affiliate marketing, not for SEO. Now, I hear you. I know you're thinking, but couldn't I optimize it for the keyword and bring in even more traffic? And while you can make slight changes, just monitor the position of this post. Again, you do not want to ruin your biggest assets. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And finally, we do not want to update any blog posts you've published in the last 6 to 9 months. It takes time for Google to recognize your post. It does. Test it out and move on and move it up in search results. So as you grow more authority with Google, this window of time between when you publish the post and when it's ranking on Google, it's going to grow smaller. But ultimately, you still need to give Google time to test out your post, move it in search results, and give people the best information. Okay, so these are the ones that do not need updating. Now, let's shift our focus to the blog posts that do need updating. So the blog posts that should be considered for updating first include any blog posts that are falling in rankings that are currently bringing you traffic or affiliate income. Okay, so any blog posts that you notice that are going down in search results. Okay, and it's important to know that these are blog posts that probably have done well for you in the past. because that's a light bulb for you. That's saying, hey, this is an asset for you, but we're seeing a decline in rankings. Now, I'm going to show you how to determine which ones are falling in rankings in just a moment. Now, the next blog post that you'll want to consider updating are any blog posts in positions 5 through 10 on Google. Moving up in these positions will give you the next biggest impact. Okay, so updating these posts will give you a lot of reward. So that's why we want to do it. And then you'll want to consider updating any blog posts in positions 11 through 20. And again, these are in sequential order for a reason. So the most important one is at the top, and then you'll work your way down. So start with any blog posts that are falling in rankings that are currently bringing you affiliate income or traffic. Okay. And finally, you're going to consider updating any blog post that is not getting any traffic to it and it's older than 9 months. Okay, so those are the 4 times where you will consider updating your post. It doesn't mean that you're actually going to update it. We're going to get to that. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, how should I know if my blog posts are losing traffic? How should I know where to find their current rankings on Google? How should I know any of this information, right? Well, that's where Google Search Console comes in. Now, if you don't have it installed for your travel blog, it's vital. It is a must. You need Google Search Console. So be sure to not download, but be sure to install that and connect it to your website. It's completely free and it's going to be the most factual tool that you can use for your website. It's even more factual than key search and Ahrefs and SEMrush because this is actual statistics, not just guessing. All right. Now, we're going to use Google Search Console to determine where blog posts are losing rankings. Okay, so first, we will go on our Google Search Console dashboard. Okay, and then we're going to click on search results or performance. It's actually going to be in the left side menu. You can't miss it. Okay, so you'll click on that. Again, this will all be in a guide for you. But next, you want to look at the top of Google Search Console, and you're going to see some boxes. The first will say total clicks, total impressions, average CTR, and then average position. We want to uncheck total impressions because we don't care all that much in this instance, but we do want to check where it says average position. Okay, this will help us know where our blog posts are ranking for specific keywords. Next, under performance on search results, there will be a place where it says search type web, and then it will also say date last 3 months. That's the default. So we want to click where it says date last 3 months. Okay. When we do that, a pop-up will appear and it's going to say date range, just like the one you see on my screen right now. Now, just underneath that, there are 2 tabs. One will say filter, one will say compare. We're clicking compare because we want to compare to see where we're falling in rankings, okay? So you'll select compare, and then you will do last 28 days to previous period. And then you pick up apply, and that's pretty much it. So basically, this means I am comparing where my blog posts were ranking last month to where my blog posts are ranking this month. And it's going to give us concrete data to help us know which posts of ours need help. Okay, they might be drowning a little bit, right? So once we do that, we're going to scroll down to where it shows a couple tabs. It'll say queries, pages, countries, etc. Right? We want to choose where it says pages because those are our blog posts. And when we select pages, we'll be able to dig deeper. You'll be able to find all of the keywords that each blog post ranks for and whether or not those results are increasing or decreasing. Okay. So that's how we want to use Google Search Console to determine which of our blog posts are maybe not doing so hot for us right now, but maybe they have in the past. So we know there's opportunity to improve and go back to the way it was, right? The good old days. Okay, so now you know how to use Google Search Console to find blog posts that are losing rankings. I want to show you a quick trick on Google Search Console that is going to help you find the posts that are ranking in positions 5 and higher. So positions 5 through 10, and then again, positions 11 through 20. I get asked this question all the time. Where can I see my rankings? So I want to give you that information so you don't have to look elsewhere. When you're looking at your blog posts in Google Search Console, you're going to set where it says your date. So performance on search results, we'll set the date to the last 7 days for this one. And we want to use this little filter menu where you see the arrow. You'll click this filter menu, and we're going to eliminate any blog posts or keywords that aren't in position 5 or higher on Google. Okay, so let's say, for example, one of my blog posts is backcountry.com reviews. Well, that's the keyword I'm ranking for, right? So backcountry.com reviews. Okay, I can see that I rank position number 5 by just using those filters. Okay, I have set the filter to be greater than 4.9. So now it's only showing me the keywords I'm ranking for in positions 5 and higher on Google. Okay, it's a really cool trick. It's really easy to utilize, and you can see where you're ranking for any keyword. Okay. And finally, you can also use Google Search Console to find blog posts with no traffic too. All you have to do is simply use the little arrows and navigate up so that it shows the blog posts or the keywords that have no clicks to them. That means no one is coming to these blog posts. Okay. So I just showed you how to use Google Search Console to find all of these things about where your blog posts are ranking, where they're losing traffic. So now we have an idea. We have a list of posts that maybe you should consider for updating, right? I would gather all of those URLs and make a list so that you have some to pick and choose from. Okay, so take all the URLs that might need updating, put them in a list. All right, now we have this list of blog posts that potentially need updating. What should we do? What are we supposed to do next? Well, you might think that we should just start updating them. Like, let's go down the list, start updating them. But one of the most important things that I've learned as a business owner is that you need to prioritize your work. So, step 2 is all about prioritizing. What should you do with old blog posts? There are 3 options. You can either delete them and repurpose them, like completely take them off your website. You can de-index them and repurpose them, meaning that they're still on your website, but you're telling Google to completely ignore them. Or you can optimize them for SEO. So let's venture into option number 1. There are going to be some posts you should delete from your website. That's just the way it is. Now, you should delete the post if, and I want to be very clear that all of these must apply in order for you to delete them. So you must check all of these boxes before deciding to delete it. Okay, so the first one is it's not optimized for SEO. And there's not really an obvious keyword or a possible good keyword that you could pivot to, right? And this tends to be posts that are personal stories. Maybe they don't have a lot of rhyme or reason to them. Maybe you wrote them years and years ago, and now you're just realizing, wow, they're still on my website. Whoa, that's kind of embarrassing, right? Those are these kind of posts. Now, this should also be a post that does not get any traffic through Google. If it's getting traffic elsewhere, we could still assess it for possible deleting. But if it's getting any traffic from Google, we can utilize that to our advantage. And finally, this is a post that does not have any backlinks from other websites, okay? Because we don't want to take away authority points that we've already earned in the past, right? And if you do delete the post, now it's not like you're just trashing your work from before. You can actually reuse some of the content. So I'll briefly cover a few places where you can reuse the content that you might delete in a few slides. So stick with me. Now, the next option is to de-index the posts. Okay, basically, this means that you are turning a switch on your blog post that says to Google, "Hey, don't show this post to people, and you should ignore this post completely." Okay, it's still on your site, it can stay there. You just aren't having Google recognize it. Maybe you send people to this blog post through an email newsletter, right? Now, there is a very, very narrow line between deciding to delete your posts and just to de-index them. Okay, so when in doubt, just de-index them and you can always delete them later. The only time you would de-index a post and possibly update it for SEO is if it has a backlink, if it has any type of traffic, or if it has potential to be a blog post that brings you a lot of readers. Okay, so those are the things to consider before just straight up deleting your post. All right. Now, I want to pause for a moment because I just talked about repurposing blog posts that you delete, repurposing blog posts that you de-index, and this is where I get a lot of questions. How can we repurpose this? People want to know how to repurpose. People also want to know, what should I do with any blog posts that aren't in my niche, right? So you do have to ask yourself, do they get traffic? Does this blog post that might not be in my niche, does it get traffic? If so, clearly Google isn't too upset with you for, straying too far from your niche because they're giving you traffic and they're not punishing you for it. So this is an indication that, hey, it might be okay that I'm writing about this. Google likes it. Google is rewarding me for it. So consider that before deleting a post that's not in your niche. You also have to consider the backlinks. Okay, deleting or indexing a post that is outside of your niche that has the solid backlinks, it could bring down your authority, right? And this can bring down your overall Google rankings for any blog post that you're writing. So consider this as well before deleting any posts that aren't in your niche. And finally, is this blog post optimized for SEO? Could it be optimized for SEO? All of these blog posts, they need to be considered for optimization because Google looks at your site overall to assess your SEO rather than just one blog post at a time. So you do want all of your blog posts to be updated for SEO. Okay. Now, I mentioned, like I said, talking about a few opportunities to repurpose, and a few ways that you can do this is by including or creating freebie opt-ins to get people to sign up for your email list. So take one of the blog posts that you might not use, maybe you're going to delete it, repurpose it into a freebie opt-in. That way you get people to sign up for your newsletter, and then I get to email them, right? You can also potentially send these out in newsletters as revamped stories. So you'll create a newsletter, write it out, copy paste, and then edit it accordingly, right? So take these ideas into consideration before you go ahead and just trash any of your work. It can save you a lot of time to just reuse what you've already done. Okay. All right. And finally, the third thing you can do with posts that need attention is optimize them for SEO. Now, I want to be very clear. You will only optimize your blog posts for SEO if, number one, the blog post could make you affiliate income, right? It could make you money. We definitely want to optimize for that, right? This means that the blog post is an affiliate blog post, or could be, where your reader is probably going to purchase something, right? Again, this is another really great place to use your Travelpayouts affiliate links, okay? Now, we want to update these posts for SEO because if we can give it leverage to make more money, we are getting a big reward for the work we're doing. And again, as business owners, yes, you are a business owner. If you're a blogger, you want to maximize the things you're doing in your business. So you're doing the things that make you the most money, right? That's how a business works. Now, we also want to update a blog post for SEO if the blog post has high traffic potential. That means that the blog post could bring a lot of readers each month to your site. And that will benefit us in several ways. This can make us more ad income. This can make us more affiliate income. And all around, it can just bring us more viewers, maybe more email subscribers, right? So those are the posts we also want to optimize for SEO. Give it more leverage so we can see bigger results. Okay. All right. So those are the 2 times that we want to optimize a post for SEO. Now, we really, really want to consider those 2 things, traffic and affiliate income, when deciding which post to optimize, because again, you're getting a bigger reward for the work you're putting in. And as business owners, you should always, this is one of my biggest mistakes that I made as a business owner at first, was I didn't track which of the tasks I was doing in my business that brought me the most income. Okay, so you need to document this, figure out which ones are making you the most money, and then do more of that. Okay, because when we use that info to prioritize updating posts that bring you the biggest reward, that's called a positive ROI, a positive return on your time invested. Okay. All right, so now you know how to find which blog posts need help and what to do with these blog posts. Now it's time for step number 3. Now, in the past step, I talked about optimizing posts for SEO, the posts that are worth optimizing. So I want to give you some tips on how you can best optimize these posts that you've written so that you can get more traffic. Okay. Now, you might be surprised. You might be thinking, oh, well, I have a checklist of things to tell you and secret tricks and tips for updating your post. And while I do have a few checklists that you could consider, I want you to think about one very, very important idea. And most people completely ignore this. No matter what any SEO expert or blogging guru tells you, there is one definitive way to rank at the top of Google every single time you write a blog post. And that is by assessing the top 10 search results and modeling what they're doing. Okay, the very best way to optimize your old posts for SEO is by looking at what the people in the top 10 of Google search results are doing that you are not. It's by looking to see what you are doing that they are not, right? What are the differences here? And then it's important to morph your post into an easy to read all-in-one package. Now, a few things to consider when you are looking at Google and assessing those top 10 search results. I want you to specifically pay attention to the blog posts in the top 10 with the least amount of authority. Okay, so which blog posts are ranking in the top 10 for any keyword that have the lowest domain authority or the lowest domain rating, right? Those are the people that need to do a lot better SEO tactics. They need to do a better job with SEO because they don't have as much leverage. So they must be doing something very right in order to rank on Google. Okay. It's also important to look at their titles. What are they including in their titles? Look at their content. Look at their headers. Check out how many words they've written. Check out the structure of their post. Where do they have everything placed? Where are certain headers? Are they jumping right into the topic, or do they include fluff at the top? Do they include fluff at the bottom, right? Check out their meta descriptions. Check out common patterns that you are seeing, okay? That is the key. Look for common patterns, common words, common phrases, common outline structures that other people are doing and model it. Okay. Now I want to be very clear. You should never, ever, ever copy anyone. That's illegal. It's not okay. And you will get in trouble for it. But you can model what other people are doing. Okay. All right. Now, in addition to scoping out your competition, here are a few more ways that you can optimize your post for SEO. The first is you can add the year to your title. So, for example, 2023, if it's applicable. Okay, so people like up to date content, and many times I'll see it in my Google Search Console. People are actually typing in the keyword, let's say best things to do in San Diego, and they're including the year. Okay, so it's possible that adding the year can push you up in search results, not only for your keyword, but for your keyword plus the year. Okay. You should also update your title. So you want your keyword specifically in your title, and then you want fluff. Now, what fluff should you include in that title? Well, this is going to be according to any patterns that you see from other people in the top 10 of Google. What other words are they including in their titles? What patterns are you seeing? You should include something similar. Morph it into your own, but something similar. You should also update your meta description. Make sure you're using your exact keyword in your meta description along with fluff, of course. Check out your competitors, see what they're doing for their meta descriptions. You should also add your keyword or related keywords to a header or two. I see so many people skip this. I see so many people not even use headers a lot of times, but it's very, very important to include your keyword in a few of your headers. Okay. And then additionally, add more body paragraphs. Google loves long form content because people won't have to go elsewhere to find what they're looking for. So you should be the one-stop shop for the information pertaining to your keyword. All right. Now, you'll always want to track your progress and see what is working for you and what is not working for you. Pay attention to the things that are working for you. Which blog posts are doing really well for you, and do more of that. Do more blog posts about that topic, about that destination, something similar, and build your authority around it. Do what already works. Okay. That way, you aren't spending time doing things that aren't serving you. And the very best way to track this to determine where you're doing well, if you're not doing so well, the best way is to use Google Search Console the same way that I showed you at the beginning of this training. Again, there will be a replay of this after, so if you need to go back and check out how I did that and how I used Search Console for that, you can utilize that. Okay, now we just went over some very, very important tips for optimizing your blog posts for SEO in order to grow your traffic. Now, the next thing you need to do is optimize your posts for affiliate marketing in order to grow your income. Because just, growing your traffic does not mean you're going to make any money. There are lots of websites that have billions of people who search and come to their website each month, and they still make no money. So you need to make sure you're also utilizing proper affiliate marketing tactics and strategies as well. So the first thing you can do is start by registering for one of the top affiliate networks out there for travel bloggers. It's a network that is specific for travel bloggers, which I think is the best part. So like I said, this is one of my favorite affiliate networks, and we've partnered up to bring you this training. And Travelpayouts wants to give you a $50 bonus when you have your first affiliate payout with them. So use this QR code. I am going to show you at the end. Again, I have a link that will include several freebies, and it includes a link to this offer as well. So you can get that there. Now, signing up for Travelpayouts is a good first step for affiliate marketing. It gives you opportunity to share your affiliate links and make money from it. The next thing you need to do is learn proper affiliate marketing strategies. And while I do not have time to dive into them in this training, I wish I did, I would love to invite you to our travel blog program, which is called Scale Your Travel Blog. Scale Your Travel Blog is our #1 travel blogging training program, and it teaches you everything you need to know to grow your website into a money-making business. This is where I teach beginning, intermediate, and very advanced SEO, affiliate marketing, and email marketing skills. It is the one-stop shop for the most up-to-date travel blogging strategies in 2023. And the cool part about Scale Your Travel Blog is it isn't just a course. We work with you in various capacities to make sure that you're on the right path to monetizing your blog, your travel blog, or any type of blog, really. Now, if you are interested in joining us in Scale Your Travel Blog, you can jump over to mikeandlauratravel.com/info. This is also where you're going to find information about an upcoming free live training that I host for travel bloggers. The next one is actually tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central. And you can go ahead and register. That's where the information is on this link. You can register for that training. And you'll also find a free guide, like I said, to today's session. It's going to walk you through this. It has the screenshots that I included in today's slides, so it might be a bit easier for you to follow along. And if you do it through, if you do click this link, you'll also find a link to sign up for the travel payouts. And like I said, they are giving you $50 in addition to your first affiliate payout. So it's something you definitely want to take advantage of. And you can find that all at mikeandlauratravel.com/info. All right. This was so much fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in the training today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I absolutely love everything about SEO and affiliate marketing and blogging in general. But now I would love to open it up for a Q&A and answer any travel blogging related questions that you might have for me. Feel free to lay it on me. I know that there are lots of them. Okay, so I see one of my successful posts declining in traffic significantly, but I update it often with fresh information. Do frequent updates impact rankings negatively? That's a really great question. So the very first thing that I would say is number one, if it's your top post and it's not losing traffic, don't touch it. We just mentioned that if it's in the top 3, we definitely don't want to mess with it. If it is losing steam, if it is not growing the way you would like, I would number 1, get some backlinks to it. There are so many times where I see somebody write an amazingly perfect blog post and then they don't get backlinks to them, or they don't get enough backlinks to them to support the greatness of their SEO, right? So you need both. You need a really great optimized SEO post, but you also need really high quality backlinks. So make sure you're doing both. To continue on about what about updating the post? Should I be updating it? I wouldn't do it as frequently. I would test it out. So I would update it according to how I talked about it in today's lesson. Update it and then come back to it and 2 or 3 months after getting a couple backlinks to it, strong backlinks, and see where it sits then. After 2 or 3 months, update it a little more, see if you can move it in the right direction, get some more backlinks to it, and test it out just this way. See what works, see what's not working, and you can always revert back to what you had it before. Okay, that's another thing. If you update it and all of a sudden you realize that the post completely dropped, give it some time, because it can take some time for Google to recognize those changes and actually give you the right authority and the right viewers for it. But if it stays stagnant and you don't see that growth, you can always revert back to what you had it. Okay, so let's see. Simon says, how do I know if there are backlinks on a blog post? Yeah, so this is also found in Google Search Console. It is literally the best tool at your disposal. It's free too. So make sure you have Google Search Console set up. It is very important for things like ad networks. It's important for anytime you want to do sponsorships, anytime you need to show people what your audience is, you need Google Search Console. When you're in Search Console, you'll see on the left side menu, there's, Google search results, there's performance, there's core vitals. At the bottom of the left side menu, there will be a button that says links. Click on links, and there'll be external links and internal links. We want to click on external links, and this will show you which blog posts get backlinks and from where. Be aware that you will have blog posts, a lot of blog posts that have lots of spammy links. So just keep that in mind, that if you do see that some of your blog posts get backlinks, they might actually be spammy links. So go ahead, keep diving deeper in Search Console, click on the blog post and see which links you're getting to that blog post. If they're junk, spammy, then I wouldn't count it as an actual backlink. Yep, so that's how you find the backlinks. If there are backlinks, would these not be preserved by using a 301 redirect? I don't trust redirects. I typically do not trust them because I've had so many issues with them in the past. While they can work, these are typically temporary, and Google doesn't like very many redirects. If you can minimize redirects, do it. Redirect to a minimum. However, you can, but what you can also do is, if those blog posts do have backlinks, you can go to the person who gave you the backlink. Let's say it's CNN or Yahoo, or it's maybe someone less, high profile, but you can email them and just say, hey, I actually updated the link to this blog post. Would you mind switching this link out? Give them the exact directions on what to do so that they don't even have to think twice about it. Give them which blog post they are linking to of theirs, give them the URL for them, and say, this is the blog post you linked to me in. This is the paragraph where you linked to me in, and here's the new blog post link. Give them all that information. You're likely to have them give you the new link, no problem, no questions asked, pretty easily that way. But I typically don't recommend 301 redirects. I don't recommend very many redirects at all. Yeah. What would you do with a post that is ranking for an irrelevant keyword? That's a really great question. I believe that's from Worldwide Writer. So that's a really great question. And what I would say about ranking for an irrelevant keyword is, it depends. If it's outside of your niche, again, you do have to assess, are you getting lots of traffic to it? If you are, heck yes, that's awesome. You want to keep that going. You also want to check to see if it has backlinks. You also want to see if it has, any affiliate potential. You want to check for these things first. The second thing that you would want to do if it's ranking for an irrelevant keyword is determine, number one, can I morph this post to then target this other keyword? Would that be beneficial for me? Would that be beneficial for my readers? If so, morph it and start to target that keyword instead. Make slight changes. Change your title slightly to include this new irrelevant keyword that maybe is now relevant. Maybe if there was like a specific example, I could weigh in on what exactly you mean by irrelevant. But if it's really outlandish, way, way, way out there, I would consider, I would maybe just leave it. You can still rank for that irrelevant keyword, but you might not want to, optimize your post for that keyword. And then additionally, if it is a keyword that is irrelevant to this post, but may be relevant to your niche overall, write a separate post. Write two separate posts, one that is your regular post and one that's targeting this other keyword. Okay. The best, a question that I get asked a lot, and I just want to throw it out there for anyone who's wondering, how should I determine if I'm writing a blog post that will then compete with itself? Like, am I going to be writing blog posts that are competing? The best way to do that is to open up two incognito windows. In your first incognito window, Google the one keyword. In the other incognito window, Google the other keyword. Check the search results, see if there is any overlap, and if there is overlap, then that should be one post. If they have totally different search results, you can then write them as two posts. So that's what I would do. But again, if it's like way outlandish, way irrelevant, not anything to do with it, you're still ranking for it, chalk it up as a win. You get that traffic, and that's just what I would do with it. Yep. What is the benefit? This is from Mary. What is the benefit to deleting no traffic blog posts? You mentioned embarrassing or off niche, but what if a few updates could improve that post? Yeah, so if you can improve it and it's going to give you good SEO traffic or affiliate income, do it. If it's not going to be the best keyword, maybe you can spend your time elsewhere writing another post that's going to bring you more traffic or more income, then that's probably where I would spend your time, unless it's like a really big passion of yours. But you have to weigh the pros and cons. You have to remember the work you're putting in is directly related to the income that you're going to make from it. So if you're working on things that have low ROI, you have to be prepared for less income. Now, you had said, what about what's the benefit of deleting no traffic blog posts? The benefit of it, and the benefit of deleting any post or de-indexing any post that's not even optimized for SEO, is that Google looks at your website as a whole. You want to think of your website as let's say you took a physics class in college, right? You have 3 midterm exams, and then you have your final test. And all of these exams and your final test will be added up and averaged to give you your final score, your final grade for the course, right? That is how Google sees your blog too. If there are blog posts that are not optimized for SEO, it's going to bring down your other blog posts that are optimized for SEO. So you need to consider that. Now, again, if you can update them with SEO and you can really put some time into the blog post to make it so that it's targeting a good keyword, then cool. Yes, do it. But if not, you can delete or de-index and just repurpose that content. That was a good question. Yeah. The Holiday Maker said, "Hi, hey Laura, awesome tips. Thanks. When you say getting no traffic, is that zero traffic or less than X number?" That's a really good question. I typically I usually see that the ones that are getting low traffic, like less than 50 a month or something, I usually see that those are also kind of lacking in other places too. So, you know how I talked about make sure that it doesn't have backlinks, make sure that it doesn't have this and this and this. It usually is lacking in other places too if I don't have that much traffic to it. So it usually falls into the category of maybe wanting to optimize it. But there's really not a set number on this. For me personally, because we're at about 90,000 monthly people, like people are coming to our site about 90,000 a month. For me, it's going to be different than somebody who has like 4,000 people a month. So it's kind of it's subjective. So it's not really about a specific number. It's what you feel is not bringing you the kind of traffic you deserve for that specific post. Then I would reassess it. Yeah. Hope that made sense. Vinny said, "Sorry if I missed. How can I avoid bot traffic and stats on Google? And is there any way to also remove bots from affiliate stats to see the actual conversions? Thanks." Yeah. And there's actually a lot of these different methods and tactics on your Google Analytics. You can also block certain servers from your blog by going into, I believe it's in settings or privacy, somewhere in the set. Now that I don't have it in front of me, I don't know the exact route, but there's a place in your blog where you can then go and ban someone's IP address. So what you can do is figure out where that bot traffic is coming from and you can ban that IP address. I've done that several times. You can also hire someone like from Fiverr to do it if you're not quite sure. You can also look it up on YouTube and they have directions on how to add that IP address to your WordPress dashboard so that they no longer can come. You can also go in on the back end of your Google Analytics. Okay, so there's 2 Google tools that you should have installed as a travel blogger. And the first is Google Analytics and Google Search Console, right? So Google Analytics is going to show you traffic from all sources. This is traffic from Google. This is traffic from Bing, Pinterest, bot traffic, right? Google Search Console only shows you Google traffic, only Google, which is kind of helpful. Now, in analytics, you can go in the back end of things and block those bots. And that way, they also won't be able to, like I said, they won't be able to come to your site. So they won't be able to use your affiliate links. And then they also won't be able to show up on your Google Analytics. So that's what I would do. Yeah, it's frustrating. I totally get it. I've had that happen a couple of times over the past couple of years, and it's frustrating. But, a lot of times it'll come and go. Yeah.
Okay. Is it necessary to update blogs every year? That's a great question. And the answer is not necessarily. It has to be the blog posts that we talked about, the ones that are going to bring you the biggest impact. But also, it's important to know that if you have some blog posts that are doing really well, or they're just kind of hanging out, bringing you some decent traffic, it might not be at the top of your to-do list, right? You do not need to update every single blog post every single year. What I do is I'll go into my titles and I'll change the year to them. I'll skim through it, make sure it's, accurate information, and then I just update it and I have the new year. You certainly don't have to. We have one blog post that still brings us not only traffic, but a lot of affiliate income too. And it's like Best Bavarian Alps Towns or something like that. And I believe I wrote it. I'm actually Googling it right now because I'm like, where is that? Best Bavarian Alps Towns. And we are ranking number 2 right now, I think. I think it switches 1 and 2. But this one in particular, you'll be able to see on Google if you look that up. We wrote that in 2016. That was when I didn't know SEO. And then I optimized it one time between now and 2016, one time for SEO. And we still rank at the top. So there's not really a reason to update posts that are already doing well for you, or that, are not your top priority as far as bringing you traffic and affiliate income. Yeah. But that's a great question. Yeah. Jane said, do you recommend resubmitting your URLs to Google once you've updated posts? And if so, how? That's a really great question. A lot of people ask that. So what Jane is referring to is on Google Search Console. This is, again, kind of like the mastermind, the headquarters for where your blog and Google communicate. So that's why we always want to, pay attention to it. Sometimes you'll see errors in Search Console. Usually you can ignore them. But the one thing that it does do is it helps you index your posts, meaning Google's crawled it, read it, decided where to place you in search results. That's going to move up and down. But what Jane is referring to is in Search Console, at the very top, there's a search bar. Okay. You will take the URL of the post that you published or updated. You can put it into the search bar and then push enter. When you do that, it's going to tell you whether or not your blog post is on Google or not on Google. Okay, you can then request indexing. Do you need to do this every time you publish or update a post? No. Google will crawl your website eventually. And by eventually, I think that scares people. It's actually a lot faster than you think. Sometimes I do have a bit more authority. So if you are just starting out, just know that my authority might be a little different. So our DR is sitting at a 50. Our blog posts are indexed very quickly. So within 12 hours, and I don't even have to do anything most times. On the other hand, if you are a newer blogger and you don't have as much authority yet, you will get authority. But if you don't have as much authority yet, it might take, 3 weeks for them to crawl your website, see the new post, and say, hey, this is her new post. Let's put it in search results. Can it help speed things up? Sure, but you don't have to do it. You don't have to submit it to your Search Console. It will do it automatically. But again, I do it because I'm impatient and I'm like, this is kind of my last final step. I'm just going to submit it. Sometimes I don't and I'll forget and I'll go the next day and it's already submitted. So again, it's not something that needs to happen. But if you would like and it gives you more peace of mind, again, I used to do it all the time too because it was like that last final step. Okay, I'm good. Google knows. So yeah. So this is Ryan. How do you get rid of spammy junk backlinks? I assume they affect your blog post ranking if you have a lot. That's a great question. And I used to be freaked out by spammy backlinks too, but they're super normal. It's actually kind of like a rite of passage where if you do not have spammy backlinks, you might be a pretty new blogger, right? I actually reached out to, this was a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I noticed that I was getting more and more spammy backlinks. So I reached out to an expert on Fiverr and I just said, hey, would could you look at these spammy links for me? I'm really concerned about them. And she said, there's really no reason to be concerned. Google is smart enough to know that these are junk backlinks. They know, they'll ignore them. And Moz, Ahrefs, anywhere you're looking at your domain authority, which is really just an estimated guess, it's not something to take super seriously. But anytime you look at your authority, if you see your domain authority go down, it might be that they just removed some spammy links from their assessment. So just keep that in mind. Everyone has spammy links. Is it something to be concerned about? No, not at all. Not at all. There's really never been a website that I've encountered that I felt that there were too many spammy backlinks, even thousands of them, you'll notice. So you're going to be just fine. You'll be good. All right. Well, I think that was the last question. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. You can find all of the details and all of the information at mikeandlauratravel.com/info. Be sure to get your $50 from Travel Payouts. And then if you want to join me for another training later today, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central, I'll see you there. And that all that information is on the screen there. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I hope you have a fabulous week. It's a bit early where I am, so I hope that you enjoy the remainder of your week. And I will see you guys soon. See ya.